What we are suffering through with Murdoch-style owned conservative, but is really just regressive media in the West today, is not journalism in the classical sense, of course. It is court ritual, a choreography of flattery and fear. It has become sycophantic because it no longer serves truth, but instead power, and no longer enlightens in any way, but anesthetizes. In periods of higher consciousness, we had councils of wise elders in democratic organization. In Dark Age kingdoms, monarchs were never the Walt Disney version of a philosopher, queen, or king, but were instead more Alice in Wonderland, off with his head, egomaniacal psychopaths. Thus, empires had been built on lies where the person at the top was told they were good when of course they were really garbage. Courtiers surrounded them, echoing their words, magnifying their myths, and shielding them from the murmurs of the real world. Sound familiar? The same drama is now enacted nightly across millions of glowing screens from thousands of different grifting sources, and it makes you wonder why so many of your countrymen seem like they've gone batshit insane. A sycophantic media ecosystem thrives not on inquiry, but on affirmation. It tells its audience what they already believe, and praises them for believing it. It replaces curiosity with certainty, complexity with outrage, and civic responsibility for tribal belonging. The news anchor becomes a priest of grievance, dispensing indulgences to the faithful and casting heretics to the outer darkness. The result is a kind of psychic feedback loop where propaganda is mistaken for revelation and emotional arousal for insight. This sickness, because it is a deep mental sickness, emerges when truth itself becomes secondary to allegiance, when the purpose of communication shifts from discovery to domination, from illumination to the maintenance of hierarchy. The collective mind begins to rot. You can hear it in the language: repetition, simplification, scapegoating. The vocabulary of power replacing the language of understanding. And yet, this sycophancy is not merely a media problem, it is a societal symptom. When people feel unmoored or afraid or disoriented, they long for voices that promise stability, even sadly oftentimes if those voices lie. Conman media has very much learned to exploit that longing, converting insecurity to obedience. It does not speak truth to power, it speaks comfort to power and fear to everyone else. But the antidote lies, as always, in self-education and awareness. To recognize that sycophancy for what it is, a theater of control, is to rob it of its enchantment. Real journalistic media is the kind that nurtures democracy, that seeks truth, that invites discomfort, mind you, encourages doubt, and awakens thought. It treats the citizen not as a consumer or a convert, but as a participant in a greater conversation of an evolving civilization. That's what we're trying to do with our media creation, and we highly suggest you do the same as well in whatever way you can.